I finally have my new background. I'm going to have different things hung up and different things on show in the background. I'm finally up in our spare room and I've set up a little space where I'm going to be filming so I can have like cute backdrops rather than just my ugly radiator. So yay, that's been a good thing that's happened this week. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So this is completely impromptu. I actually was considering doing a week of no videos because of how unwell I've been. If you're new here, hi. I'll explain that a bit. If you're old here, I'm sorry if you're bored of hearing about it. But I have lupus SLE. Or do I? I've been having a flare-up, which means that like my pain level has gone to like 10 out of 10, like the most pain that I can handle. I feel sick, I feel dizzy, I feel weak. It doesn't matter how much I sleep, I'm exhausted and tired. It's just been a lot. I just want to start this as well by saying that if there's background noise, I'm really sorry, but because I've been unwell, I really need fresh air, so the window is open. It's not open much, but it's open a bit, so you might hear traffic or voices, I don't know, I'm really sorry, but I need fresh air. Yeah, so I was considering having like a week with no videos, and then I decided against that because I know I'll probably only just beat myself up and be miserable about the fact that I didn't do it. But I am really unwell. And yesterday I had the worst day, and that's what's prompted this video. This was not planned. I had something else planned for today, but when yesterday happened, and then I was like, Jesus, like I could do a story time about how terrible today's been. And then I realised, actually, I've had so much going on and so much has happened, and I haven't really had a chance or wanted to talk about it much, but now I do, and the videos that I had planned are really fun and I love them, but I felt weird doing them because they're all fairly like cheerful, happy videos without doing this one first. Does that make sense? I would have felt weird today sitting down and doing a really happy, jolly video when I had one of the worst days of my life yesterday. So let's start with what happened yesterday. So I've had like a lot going on. So I've had a flare-up. My toes, I had surgery on both of my feet back in June, and I had to pay for all of my bandages. I did get it done on the NHS, but I had to pay for all my bandages, and I've completely run out, and I have 2 more weeks where they're meant to be bandaged, but now I have no bandages, so they're not wrapped. But they're doing okay, but they just look horrific. Like they just don't look nice. I don't think any part of your body will look nice if you've had it like wrapped up for 3 months and unable to like properly wash it. I've had all that with my feet. I've also had a lot going on in my family life, which I won't go into because it's not my business to talk about in depth, but that's been really hard. And then yesterday so part of like my illness has been gastro problems, which include like acid reflux I suffer from. I literally just don't go to the toilet, and then I've had blood when I go to the toilet. I've had it where, because I can't go to the toilet, I can't eat because I literally don't have any room in me. So I've been going days without eating, and then when I do eat I throw it back up and I can't even hold down water. And this has been going on for like many years, my gastro problems, and it may or may not be tied in with my lupus, we're not sure, but I have fought and fought and fought to be like referred to a specialist, and I finally like basically demanded it at the beginning of this year and said that enough is enough. I've been on laxatives for years, like, and I've tried every one under the sun, and none of them help the problems, and the stomach pains I get are just like unbelievable. Anyway, so I demanded to see a specialist. I was like, I'm not leaving here unless I've been referred. My GP finally referred me. It's been cancelled 4 times. So originally I was meant to be seen in June, then it was July, then it was August, and then I finally saw someone yesterday. Well, yesterday. So I woke up the last few days to a random cat killing a bird and throwing it around my back garden, which was like devastating and upsetting and horrific, and I hated it, it made me feel sick. I then woke up to my kitten had destroyed all of my stuff. I bought like watermelon fairy lights to hang up. She's destroyed them. She's chewed straight through them. She chewed my shoes, the shoe boxes. Like, she's just destroyed a lot of things. So I wasn't in the best mood. Then we get ready to go to the hospital. My appointment was at 3. We get there. We like obviously go and tell the receptionist we're here. We sit in the waiting room and we're sitting there. And then the nurse comes out and calls me in. We'd probably been waiting about 40 minutes. And she said, oh, have you been told the announcement? And I said, no. And she was like, okay, basically the doctor's not here. He's gone to another hospital. So that's why the waiting room is so busy, and it was really busy. When we walked around the corner, I was like, whoa, this is like full. Basically all of his afternoon appointments were just waiting, and I said, right, so what does that mean, like how? And she said, well, it's up to you whether you wait or whether you cancel today and rebook another appointment. And I asked how long I would have to wait for the rebook, and it was January. And I was like, absolutely not, I'm desperate, I'm throwing up, I can't go to the toilet, I can't eat, it's making my headaches worse, it's making me feel weak, like it's just horrific. Your body is meant to be able to like digest food and do all that stuff just naturally, and if it can't, it like messes everything else up. So I think that's added to my flare up, to be honest. Anyway, so she was like, okay, so you want to wait? And I was like, absolutely, I've waited like years for this, I'm waiting. Anyway, long story short, I waited 3 hours, and then I got called in by the head nurse who said the doctor's not coming at all now, like it's too late. He's not coming. And I was like, so I've waited 3 hours for nothing. She was then like, well, no, not for nothing. Basically, we're going to ask the locum doctor, which if you don't know what that is, it's like a doctor that's come from another place to like fill in for the day. Basically, we're going to ask him if he'll take you on, because most of the other people that were in the waiting room waiting for the doctor have left. So there's only a few of you left, so if he could fit you in, that's what we're going to try and do. But I can't guarantee that he'll say yes or that he'll have time to. So it's really up to you if you wait or if you go. And this was like, it was like 10 to 5 that I came out of talking to the nurse, and I said, well, I've got to wait a bit longer anyway because I needed my prescription. I've run out of my pills all weekend. I haven't had any of my tablets, which is again why I feel so rough, which is my own fault. With everything else that's been going on, I didn't keep on top of it, and then I ran out and it was like, no. We had to go to the pharmacy and to my doctor's to pick up my prescription. And time was running out, like it was going to close. So Ben said, do you mind if I leave you and I'll go grab it? And I said, no, that would be great. So he left. So anyway, I said, well, I'm going to wait a little bit longer for the doctor because I can't go anywhere anyway. Like my lift has gone, so I'll wait. And she was like, okay, fair enough. She said, if you do decide to leave though, the receptionists leave at 5:30. And I said, right, so basically after 5:30 I won't be able to rebook today. Oh no, the nurses might be able to help you with that, but I couldn't be sure. So nothing was definite. It was all like, you could wait, you could leave. I'd already been there 2 hours. So I was like, oh, and I was honestly desperate, and actually my stomach was really bad yesterday, which I think is what made me hold on, because I could feel the pain, and I was like, no, I cannot live with this until January. I actually just can't. So I waited. I said, no, I'll wait. And then at about, this is funny, at 5 o'clock, the receptionist up and left. I got out, like literally I'd got out of speaking with her, sat down, 10 minutes later the receptionist all left and it like all got closed down. So I was like, okay, so she was wrong, it's actually 5, not 5:30, and now they've gone, and now I don't know if it ends up that he won't see me. I don't know if I can even rebook now. Like, everything was just so confusing and overwhelming, especially when you're so unwell. And like, hospital waiting room chairs are never comfortable, so I was uncomfortable. in pain, unwell, I had a migraine, it just was a lot. So then I was like, well, I'm here now, like what am I gonna, I'm gonna just wait. And then finally, just as Ben texted me and said, I'm outside, like, should I pay for parking again, or are you coming, should I just wait in the drop-off area? I quickly texted him and said, no, the doctor just called my name. And I was like, yes, the locum doctor called my name. So I went in, and the first thing I'm going to touch on is, which I may even make a whole new video about this, but I have written a blog post that's going to go up soon where I touch on it, but I might just dedicate a whole blog post to this because it's really becoming a lot for me to deal with, and it's actually really infuriating me and upsetting me, and I'm actually sick of it. So I went into the doctor, and I do want to start this by saying that both the doctor and the nurse themselves were overweight. I am overweight. If you don't know, I have been perfect BMI and weight my entire life apart from the last year. In the last year, I nearly doubled my weight when I first got ill in like 3 months. Like, can you even imagine what that does to you mentally, to double your weight in 3 months? That is basically what happened to me. And it was fucking awful. And but being overweight isn't awful. It's the way the world treats you that is awful. Like, everyone expects you to like hate yourself. I don't hate myself. Like, in the beginning I was like, oh, you know, I really don't feel good, but it was just because it was so alien. I think even people that are big and then lose weight often say that they can't relate to their new body. Just if any drastic change happens to the way you look in such a short amount of time, I think it would throw anyone off. It was just confusing. All of a sudden I didn't look like me anymore, and everything about me was different. And with being overweight comes lots of challenges, and I'm not talking about all the ones that anyone who is fat phobic and watching this will guess, like that I've all of a sudden got diabetes, or that I've all of a sudden got loads of weight related problems, because I actually haven't. I'm fine. Like, my weight has not changed a thing. I had lupus when I was skinny, I have lupus now that I'm fat. It's literally no different. And also I'd like to take that moment to say that, like, health isn't a moral thing. Like, you're not morally obliged to be healthy, and everyone goes, oh, you can eat what you want and you can be a bit overweight so long as you're healthy. But what if you're not healthy? Because I'm not healthy because I have lupus. Like, anyone with a disease is not classed as healthy. So what, I don't deserve your respect or your kindness because I have an illness that is completely out of my control? Like, just listen to that and realise how much bullshit that is and how it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Maybe I do need to make a whole video about this subject. But basically what I'm getting at is the world hates fat people. Society hates fat people. And that's what makes it difficult being fat. Not anything else that people generalise as being difficult because you're fat. So I walk in, and straight away my guard is up now with any doctor when I go, because I've had every single doctor I've seen in the last year try and blame all of my problems and any problem on my weight, when there's no evidence to back that up and it doesn't even make sense. So I went into him about my gastro problems. He felt my stomach and tried to say, like, because I was literally wincing in pain, and I have a really high pain threshold, but I was like gonna cry / shit my pants because he was like pushing so hard on my stomach. And I said, no, that hurts so much. And he was like, yeah, I think that's just your fat tissue that's sensitive. Is that even a thing? Can fat tissue even be painful? He was like, yeah, I think that's your fatty tissue that's painful. It's like tender. And I said, I don't think so. He said, yeah, you'll probably get it on your breast and on your back as well. And I said, no, I don't. Poke me. Like, come on, mate, poke me. I do not have pain anywhere else but my stomach, as in that kind of pain. Like, obviously I'm in a lot of pain with my joints and my muscles, but that's entirely different. He was trying to say that my fat was painful, which I don't even know if that's like scientifically possible. Is that a real thing? I don't know. They try and blame everything on you being fat. Also, do you know what's funny? When I was skinny, I ate worse than I do now. I ate more than I do now. but I was just very, very active and had a high metabolism, like, so I was just lucky in that sense, I guess. But they always ask you, obviously, if you smoke and if you drink, wherever you go for anything. I think that's like the standard. Except when I was skinny, it was, do you smoke, do you drink? And I'd say no to both, and they'd go, okay. Now, well, to be fair, actually, when I was skinny, I did drink because I was at uni. So I used to say, like, I binge drink, basically. I'm a student. I go out and I get smashed, and then I won't drink for a few days. You know, I'm not like a glass of wine every night with dinner type of girl. But anyway, that's another story. I'm blabbing, but just so much to be said. Now that I'm fat, ever since I've been fat, every single doctor goes, how much do you smoke? How much do you drink? And when you say, I don't, nothing, none, they go, what, nothing at all? Not occasionally, not one drink, not a bit of drink, not socially smoking. I never got asked those questions when I was skinny, and you can try and say that it's a coincidence, but it's fucking not. If you ask most fat people, they've been treated like that by doctors, like, and it's just ridiculous. Like, are we really? And it's, like I said, it's not backed up by anything. It's never backed up by anything. When I've had doctors try and blame things on me being fat, and then I've asked them like why they've come to that conclusion, they never have an answer, they never have an explanation. It's just because fatphobia is so ingrained in us because of the way society is and the way the world is. Everyone hates fat people, you're not meant to be fat. The ideal is thin equals beautiful, equals successful, equals happy, equals healthy. And that's all dog shit. So don't believe it, don't perpetuate it. Try and distance yourself from that, because it is not good for my mental health when I go into a doctor's and they treat me like everything is just because I'm fat. Anyway, basically the outcome of that was he barely listened to anything I said because he was so rushed, because he'd been there way longer than his shift because of this whole problem with my doctor not turning up. So I had to repeat things a million times. Like when I told him that I throw up, I told him twice, and I explained in detail like what happens. I said, you know, it's because I feel like it's because I'm so full because I can't go to the toilet that when I'm eating there's literally no room, so I bring it back up. I told him that on 2 different occasions, once when we were sitting in the chair and once when I was on the bed and he was feeling my stomach. And then as I was leaving, he said to me, oh, just one last thing, you don't vomit at all, do you, with this? And I was like, fantastic. You've not listened to a word I've said. So I don't have much faith in what that report is going to look like, but again, I don't think he was really going to do anything. But then the nurse was there and she kind of had a word with him to the side whilst I was getting my trousers and top back on, and said something I couldn't really hear. But then he said, okay, so now basically I have to give a stool sample, I have to get 2 lots of bloods done, I have to pick up a set of stuff from the pharmacy, and I'm going to have a full colonoscopy, which is basically like a camera into your bowel to see what's going on. So yay, that's going to be fun. That's going to be in 4 to 6 weeks. But you know what? I'm buzzing. And that is the weirdest thing you'll hear today, probably. But when you've had this problem for so long, I can't wait for someone to finally see what's wrong, because something is wrong. Like, something as natural as just going to the toilet shouldn't be as difficult as it is for me. So, and it has been for literally years. So I can't wait for them to know what's wrong. The other thing is, 4 days before I have to take these drinks, and he was like, it's like the strongest laxatives in the world, so it'll completely clear you out. And I'm excited for that because I haven't been empty for like years. I said that to him whilst I was in there. I don't think I've ever felt empty for years because I can't go to the toilet. So buzzing for that. I don't know what I'm going to do about like getting videos up on those 4 days if it lands when I do 2 videos a week, so one of them will probably land. I'm probably going to have to pre-record quite a while there. Like today, as I'm telling you this, and this is going to go up tonight, literally this all happened yesterday. So that was horrific. So then we left, and yeah, I'd been in there 3 hours in total. I have to go back another day because it was so late by that point that everything had closed, so I couldn't go and do my bloods, I couldn't get my thing from the pharmacy, so I've got to go back another day. Then we went to my nan's, we got dinner, that was lovely, that was really nice, it always is. We had a nice chat, had dinner, we went away, and then we drove all the way home and we couldn't get in our front door. We'd lost our keys. We'd taken Ben's key out with us, and we literally couldn't find it. We searched all out the front of the house, we searched the entire car 3 separate times, and then we had to drive back to where we were, where my nan's house is, check the hospital, check the pharmacy, check the doctors. Obviously all of this was closed, so we could only check outside, so we don't know if it's been handed in. Check my parents' house because we stopped there briefly, check my nan's house, check outside my nan's house. We literally had to check. We stopped somewhere for a drink on the way home, had to check all out there. Oh my god, it was ridiculous. So what would have been, I think we left my nan's at 7:30. We normally would be like home and in and like ready to like just chill for the evening at like by 8. And my boyfriend was due to go to work overnight at 9. No, he was meant to leave at 8. So that didn't happen. I don't know what time it was in the end. We had to wait about an hour for an emergency locksmith to come out and break our door in, which terrified my cats, which broke my heart. I wanted to cry. I felt like my babies were stuck in the house and I was like, no, I need to get to them. Yeah, and we were out in the rain holding our torches for this guy trying to break our lock and get in, and he said we had a really difficult lock. It cost us £320 that we didn't have spare, so that's great. And then we finally got in. I had the worst migraine, and on top of all of this, normally I'd be like, okay, I'm going to take my painkillers and go to bed. But this is the other thing that happened yesterday. My doctor's surgery won't give me my painkillers. This is my life, guys. I don't know how I'm even still like smiling and laughing about it. I think because otherwise I will literally lose my mind. Like, I think that's why, because I have no other choice. But yeah, they won't give me them. My GP is away. She's the only person that's ever agreed to give me them. I'm allergic to codeine, which is in most strong painkillers, and because of all the other drugs I'm on, basically the only painkiller I can have is tramadol, which is very, very strong. It's kind of like an opioid, which is like heroin, isn't it? I don't know a lot about drugs, but yeah, I think she told me that. So it's like highly addictive, very, very strong. I mean, it conks me out, but it does help the pain. It's the only thing I've ever had that helps the pain. And I mean, I can't sleep because of the pain. It's just been a fucking nightmare, but they won't give me my pills because she's on holiday and whoever's covering her has refused to write me a prescription for them. So I'm completely out of my pain medication whilst I'm in a flare-up. Yesterday was terrible. And then obviously we got in and Ben had to go straight to work. It was just a nightmare. It was just absolutely a terrible day. And what messed me up the most about my appointment was basically whilst we were in there, it's weird. I don't know if there's like anyone watching this at the hospital as often as I am, but when you have so many different problems, so many different specialists that you're seeing, so many different medications, it can all get quite like muddled. And after everything we'd been through yesterday, when I finally got in there, I don't know, a lot of it didn't sink in until I'd left, if that makes sense, which is so annoying, but it happens a lot. But basically now I can say this. So the doctor, I think, was trying to get at that he thinks I don't have lupus, because that's what I need, another doctor that doesn't think lupus is real. He thinks I might have fibro, which is like, I cannot ever pronounce fibromyalgia, fibromyalgia, I don't know how to say it, I'll put it here. Which is very similar to lupus, but different in a few ways. So fibro's main symptoms are IBS, which is I guess what he thinks it, fatigue, pain, in your, like all over your body, and I think like sensitivity to touch. I think that's what he was getting at, that like, because he asked me if my doctors had talked to me about fibro, and I said no, I've looked it up and found stuff out about it myself, because a lot of the time people get the two diseases confused, or a lot of people have them both. But I said no doctor's ever actually said that they think I have it, or anyway. When I like put it all together later on, I realised that he was asking a lot about my symptoms, and he was trying to figure out whether he thought I had lupus or fibro. So then I left and I was like, I spent all night like, do I not have lupus? Do I actually have fibro? And I was like, if I was like, that is so weird to me, because I've spent a whole year thinking I have a disease that I don't. I've also waited a whole year treating a disease that I don't have when I could be treating the disease I do have. I've spent a whole year relating to other people that have lupus, relating to like just everything about lupus, and finally feeling like, okay, we know what's wrong, we're treating it. To then have someone say they don't think that it's that and it might actually all have been something else the whole time, is just such a headfuck. And I then thought, oh, but if I have fibro, at least it doesn't affect your organs, like it's not as life-threatening as lupus. Like I don't want to offend anyone that has it, because I don't know too much. I literally just spent last night like trying to figure out what this doctor was trying to get at. But from what I read, it doesn't affect your organs in the way that lupus does. Like lupus makes you more susceptible to have heart attacks and strokes at a very young age. It just attacks your organs. It can shut down every organ in your body. Whereas I don't think fibro does that. So I was like, well, that's good in a sense, because it's not as life-threatening. And I just don't know how to feel. And then I was like, what if I've actually got both? Which I think is what he was trying to get at. Which, how the hell do you get told you have 2 different diseases in the space of a year? I don't even know how to begin to deal with that. So now I've got that whole can of worms. He's passed on to my other doctors that maybe they should consider that. I still firmly believe that I know I still have lupus, because I tested positive for the I think it's dsDNA and ANA tests in my blood, which means that I have double-stranded DNA and anti-nuclear antibodies in my blood, which is like the main way to test for lupus. And that is not anything to do with fibro. Also, I get the rash, the classic butterfly rash, and the rash on my body, which has gone away with specific lupus treatment. So that isn't characteristic of fibro. And I'm very sensitive to light, but I'm not sensitive to touch. Like people can, like you can poke me wherever and it don't hurt other than my belly. So I still believe I have lupus, but like it's just been so confusing and stressful, and I'm exhausted. I love making videos. Like this is my escape. This is the thing that I do to keep me sane. It's my way of expressing my creativity and doing things that I still love at my pace, and the way that I can handle doing it because of my illness. So thank you to every single person who is subscribed to me and watches my videos, because this really gets me through. And yeah, it's just been a tough ride. And to finish with, I think I talked about this before, but basically I had a sleep study done at home, and that was for sleep apnea. I don't have sleep apnea, which is very, very good, but they think I have parasomnia or maybe something else. So I now have to go to a hospital in London and stay there and have the full sleep test done, where like they literally like watch you sleeping and you sleep tied up to like machines, and like I just don't know how anyone's going to sleep relaxing knowing that like strangers are watching you and you're tied up to all those machines. It just can't be comfortable. It wasn't comfortable at home. But my sleep problems have got so bad. Like when I tell you I'm a different person in the night, like and it's actually affecting my mental health in a way, because not just because I'm sleep deprived, but because I'm finding it really uncomfortable hearing about the things that have happened that I don't remember at all when Ben tells me what I've done in the night. Or also, when I do remember, it's really disturbing. Like the other night, I remembered this, but only once Ben had told me. I woke up thinking, oh, that was alright, I didn't wake up in the night. And then Ben was like, you did. And I said, oh, what was it? And he said, you said there was a man in the room. And he goes, but the way you woke up was like you bolted upright and screamed at the top of your lungs. So obviously it scares the shit out of him. It's affecting his work and his sleep, and it's just terrible. And like he said, you were so upset. And then when he said it, I remembered I actually saw, and like unless you've gone through these type of things, you're gonna probably think that I sound just completely crazy, which is honestly how I feel. But I saw it. I saw a man standing in our room with like a ski mask or like a hockey mask over his face, and he looked really threatening and terrifying, and I fucking saw it. And other times I've seen animals in our room. Other times I've seen creatures that aren't real. Like I once saw this like giant ladybug bee spider hybrid bug flying around our bed, and I started crying. Another time I woke up when Ben was on nights, I woke up, this is quite recently, and I thought I saw giant spiders. I'm not even scared of spiders, but I saw giant spiders all over my room, and I called the police. Like, that's how bad it's getting. Another time I thought that my kitten Cleo had died and was in my bed. I thought I could see her dead in the bed, and I took a picture because I was like, maybe this isn't real, no, this can't be real. And that's the weirdest part. I can rationalise with myself whilst I'm in that state. Like, how fucked up is that your mind can do that? Like, it's amazing, but it's terrifying. Like, my camera cut out, so I don't know where I was, but basically it's just getting worse and worse. And last night for the first time, I actually text Ben, and it's all spelt right, and I was like, how come you didn't come home tonight? And I literally don't even remember touching my phone. I don't remember messaging him. I don't remember any of it, and I didn't even remember it this morning until he said, do you remember texting me? And I was like, no, and he showed me, and I looked on my phone and I was like, how many other people have I texted? I've called my dad in the middle of the night because I've been scared about it. I've got to wrap this up because I don't know what's wrong with my camera, but I have a sleep disorder, but we don't know what it is, so I'm going for more tests, but it's been horrific. I scream and cry and run out of the room, I sleepwalk, sleep talk, I text people, it's just awful. And yeah, so as you can tell, I've had a lot going on and I've been really unwell, and it's stressful, and I don't know a lot of what is going on, so that's really hard. You know guys, I find that hard. I need to know the ins and outs of everything, and not knowing I'm finding really difficult. But yeah, so I hope you don't mind this kind of video, but I needed to fill you in. I couldn't have gone through all of that recently and filmed my happy videos without talking about this with you, so I hope you don't mind. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you again soon. Bye.